Hello, and welcome once again, my friends, to a very special hour or two in the world of hardcore vanilla Minecraft. In today's episode, inspired by the educational message, we want to talk about reading more books. I really wish I had prepared better because, quite honestly, in the wake of the Mother's Day episode, which I think was 49, and or this may be like 53, something like that. I don't know. They all kind of run together number wise. But somewhere in there, I was really thinking, my mom in particular went so out of her way to inspire reading as a fun pastime, a hobby, passion, whatever you want to call it. Important part of my life, and both me and my sister's life. And I know lots of people still read. It's always unproven it or reproven again and again. There's so many folks that mass media and all that. Everybody's digital, all that kind of stuff, and it's so often it's like, oh, reading is dead. Nobody reads anymore. Woe is the world. That kind of stuff. And it's just not true. So many people continue to love the depth of books, the imagination, the mental release, obviously the educational opportunities, the ways to broaden your world are all huge. And here I was, I was kind of long-winded in my last Dreadmore episode, which was about an hour ago, real time for me. I took a nice long break, and I had kind of it was all right. Well, we'll just kind of focus in the game and maybe not have much structure around it. But I think this is kind of a good pre conversation to have, and I understand it's going to be a little one sided, but we'll kind of talk through because I love books. I've said this many times. I love reading. Multiple different categories, whether it's fiction or non-fiction, particularly when it's, like biographies, histories of various types, books about skills and means of thought, and some of those kind of things all would definitely fall into the non-fiction realm, even religious or philosophical type texts. They're not fantasy. You may not agree with all of them, but they certainly would be more in a realm of nonfiction than fiction writing. So I was thinking, like what would be the categories that I would put in if I was to, have a conversation or an episode topic around books and top 10 type lists of various books and titles that I really find enjoyable. And what would make the list, what wouldn't, would there be appeal in that kind of a topic and thing that I think a lot of people would be interested. But yeah, I don't even know how I was kind of thinking about, like, okay, Mother's Day, Mom inspired me to read. Here are some of my favorite books. Thanks for making that something that would be of interest to me, Mom. And I didn't even get that far before I was like, well, okay. In that sense, are children, books of my childhood, the favorites in there versus the favorites today. And I'm one of those people, ask me to pick a favorite kind of music, a favorite food, a favorite movie, it's impossible. I parents sit and all say, "Oh, we don't play favorites with our kids and that kind of stuff." And yeah, it's true. But some people, you ask them what's their favorite color, and it's immediate. Oh, it's purple. Well, whatever the color may be. For me, never. Even as a little kid, I could never really decide. Is it green or yellow or blue? I definitely tend towards the cool colors than the hot. But naturey too. A foresty green or brown is more appealing to me than like a very vibrant blue, I would say, but I also like blue stuff too. That's cool. And I think everything for me comes on such a scale. Oh, this is what I was trying to remember to do to start this episode. I'm like wandering around here, like, what are we gonna do? Um, the first thing we're gonna do is put this fortune axe away. Hey, there's that Enderman that had somehow gotten another block of dirt and is once again hanging out. Um, so yeah, you name it, I struggle to pin a favorite foods. On Mother's Day, and this is a while ago now. I actually just was talking to my folks again, but on Mother's Day we were talking, and my mom was like, "Oh, I read something in the paper, and some chefs, around it was a Mother's Day puff piece kind of deal, and chefs were throwing out some of their favorite childhood dishes that their moms had made, and one of them had said, and this was by of all my favorite foods, this was probably the most special favorite of mine because we just didn't have it much. But it's pea salad, and probably a archetype of the Midwest cuisine. But probably not everybody's even had it. It's so random. It's so not fancy or dressed up or anything like that. But it's just regular old. I've never made it myself. I probably could or approximate it, but I don't know any of the secrets to it if there are any. But I think it's pretty much like iceberg or other head lettuce, peas, obviously, and some like hard-boiled egg and some bacon bit type stuff with some kind of like a mayo-y based dressing. That's all. It's really simple, nothing fancy, but I absolutely loved it as a kid. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Obviously it's kind of like a mayo-y dressing, so it's not real super healthy. It's not something you want to eat every day. But when I was a kid, it was like, yeah, that's one of them. Another one was meatloaf. As a kid, I love. I was like, oh, what do you want to have for a birthday? Oh, meatloaf. Like, really? That's we could do something like that. We could have like no. My mom's meatloaf, and I think that a lot of people have that kind of deal. When you look back on your childhood, it's not the fancy stuff. It's not the delectable stuff. It's the everyday things that strike a particular chord with you that you love. And yeah, for me, man, give me some of mom's meatloaf, which again wasn't anything. I think she would say it's nothing fancy. It's just kind of when we had lots of hungry kids growing up, and weren't particularly looking to have caviar for the kids. Yeah, meatloaf would stretch the meat a bit further, and something different, something to mix up the diet and be nice. But yeah, it wasn't was really just as a stay-at-home mom when I was a little kid. She was kind of in that home economist. If you're going to be half of a married couple and live at home, then your part of the economic equation is to make the more limited earnings of a single earner household go further. So it was a lot of coupons and a lot of preparing your own foods that you didn't have to necessarily store by for more. So yeah, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it made for the simple things. But yeah, that those are the kind of things I could never pin down. Oh yeah, this is a favorite. What's your favorite food? I don't know. I have a lot of them. Is it if I'm on the coast and it's appropriate, I'm gonna try to go get a lobster if I can. If I can't, if that's not the dish, some kind of whatever a local fresh seafood is. Absolutely love them. Clam chowder is right up there with my favorite soups. But if I'm at a particular Greek restaurant back home with my parents, it's going to be their tomato basil. It just that's something at that place. If I ever happen to be in France again, it's gonna be French onion soup, just like we had when I was a little kid, and my parents took us to I think one of the more famous, but one of the cafes, street side cafes, to get French onion soup in France. And those are things that are burned in and become favorites, not because of a particular flavor or texture or anything, but those certainly help, right? I'm human, I have preferences, but because of the memories they associate or the people that they talk about. Well, we aren't doing real well at getting things started here today, are we? I just said I kind of talked through a Dungeons of Darkmoor episode, and now here I am or Dreadmoor, not Darkmoor. Here I'm about to do the exact same thing. I don't know that we're going to really just make this about building this episode. But I wanted to see if we could at least continue on our tower here a little bit. I did not look at all at banners, so I don't know if there is anything to do. I have no idea yet on a banner for this world. Something slow cooker would be cool. I don't think they have those in terms of the images, and I don't know that they have anything about guava jelly particularly in the banners. But let's go back down. I remember we left a bunch of the stuff outside. Not here. Not here. We want some of those. Excuse the hiccup. Some more of those. Let's go steal back our two. Actually, let's see. I don't even know what the tools are that we. So you can make a banner, and it's wool and a stick to make just a plain banner. Then there's, I know there's patterns and things to dye them, but do you do those after? And you can make like a template, I think, and copy and paste. Is that a loom? This doesn't seem. I did something. Loom. Okay. What does a loom get us? Is that what we use to do the patterns and stuff? Don't all talk at once, Guava. S'more. Spider webs up here. Maybe we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Let's check first on, because I want something in the middle there that we can see when we're coming back and kind of enjoy. But what I was kind of thinking or wondering on was doing. How do we do the windows downstairs? Did we even do windows? Yeah, we did a few. So here we did gaps kind of between fences. Now, what are the diagonals on the... Will they even attempt to join? No, they won't. So that's interesting. So we can just do... Whoa. Dumb bird. It's the first time I heard him do a witch. Sorry if there was any chew noise there. I tried to very quietly with my mouth closed, but my teeth kind of rattled on it. I had some salad and like a little piece of lettuce that just reappeared in my mouth. Now this is this. I guess that's all. Yeah, that's all. So does that look better or worse with? And why is that so much longer than this? Did we do that? Oh, maybe we did that intentionally because we want to keep this short on the wall. Maybe. So I don't know. Then I'd also thought on some of these that maybe a half slab here would kind of help give a bit of definition, but I don't know if we'd even want too much of that. 1, 2, 3. So we could do the opposites of those. I think maybe we'll set it like this and then let it soak in our mind and see, we'll go check from a distance, see what's going on there. It's this block that do I need this? Why do I have this there? I don't think so. I think I just put that there, right? These need half slabs. Half slabs, half slabs, half slabs. So yeah, I don't know. Does this give off an impression of battlements? Just a little bit of light. I mean, that would be kind of the idea of having access points where you can kind of fire from cover. You're not likely to get shelled. Or are we better just doing more with vertical blocks? Where maybe we kind of thinking we compare, leave like something in the middle, and then do the same spires. I really like the fence. I think it looks more like a finished product, but I don't know if it just looks kind of campy up there too. I don't know. Well, like I said, maybe we'll leave everything to soak for a bit. See what grows on us the most. If anything. Alright, I'm gonna need to go over here. Because, yeah, I'm not sold on anything in particular yet. We could go higher, make them more vertical, but typically that's not the exact intent, right? Your design is to offer vertical protection with some narrow slats between. Um, and again, smooth sandstone wall would answer all of this for us, right? If we could make some smooth sandstone, we'd be done. I think that's exactly what I would want. Now it's just a matter of, does the different texture make one, make the addition of the one to the other look more campy than it needs to be. So I'm gonna leave as is for the time being, and just see if as I come and go and approach it, does this grate on me? Does it start to feel awful, or is it not too bad? And also, do mobs come as a result of having set all this up? They might. Oh, we never put a torch, or we knocked down a torch that was there. This stuff can all be dark. It's fine. It's these corners we don't want to spawn up. But I think we're good now. It's good to be up here to check. Oh, not yet. So there we go. Either way, we've got some semblance of battlements. Now, next up, I was gonna. Is this this? No, it's just the sand. This is the smooth. I was just thinking as we were bouncing around out here that I should do a bit of that. Just to extend out. No, I don't need these. Kind of looks too toothy. I think maybe if we... It'll be fine, we'll just let it soak. I think maybe we can use the fence or the wall, but I don't think it can be as regular as all that. Here's what I mean. If we go here, here, these were the ones that never had anything. What are we gonna do about that, I wonder? Oh, I don't know what to do. And here, that would be there and there. Oh, what are we doing on these short sides? We had 2 to begin with. We could do a central. Well, maybe they'll look better. That would be the... That would be the open one, right? So we would do that and that. Now then, what did we have gaps on these sides? We didn't. One in the middle there. I haven't even started over here yet. Or I have, but I haven't. Nope. Did I do that one backwards? I think I did. Maybe this is going to be an all-tower episode, by the way. This was just going to be a quick little throwaway. It can't be as bad as trying to get those steps placed yesterday. Alright, that's yesterday, whenever. Last episode. So this would give us a little more broken. Do we have any of those slabs? This would give us a bit more varied, a bit less toothy, more slits. I'd love to have something, representing a cannon run out from each of these, but I don't know what that would be. Or, a couple of them, but primarily commanding out into that channel, off right from where my ladder is, so definitely requiring some readjustment, but that would be the place where, if you were going to have an old school cannon embankment, covering the entry into this internal waterway would be a cool little bit, but I don't know. Let's try again to disengage. Oh, can't get through there. But these do allow dives off the battlements, a la Robin Hood. Before my whole degeneration into talking about favorite foods and colors, I was talking a little bit about books, and based on the splash screen, that at some point I'd like to do lists of favorite books across a range of categories. I don't know, how many folks, 2, 3, however many years ago it was, PBS did the Great American Read thing where people could vote in their favorite books. What have they read? I've always loved those kind of things. I think when I was in high school, I got a list of 28 novels, classic novels, and novels of the 20th century that every American should read. Lots of different libraries and things make these reading lists, recommend it. What if people continually come in and ask for ideas? Those are things that they wholeheartedly recommend. And, to some extent, it comes from an idea that not so very long ago, there was an idea of classical education. And to be classically educated and in the kind of prep school mode, there were certain courses and books and things that with which you had to be familiar, and it was the shared culture that then all the in order to understand Wordsworth or Tennyson or some of the poets and things, to get their references, you had to have been exposed to those works that they're referencing. You had to be familiar with the Arthurian legend, or some of those you know Judeo-Christian schools of thought, and that's why I say, even for people that aren't looking spiritually for enlightenment or anything, read the Bible. In one episode, I talked at length about this comic book type Bible. I think it's called the Children's Bible or Children's Picture Bible or something like that, and it's comic book style, but it gets you a lot of those stories and can really help enlighten as to their references. You won't know Bible verses and all that kind of stuff, so you may struggle on some of the exact references. But if they're talking about the Judaic tradition, why were the Ten Commandments important? How did Moses relate to Abraham? Or who was Noah? When did he come into play? You can get a timeline for all that kind of stuff and put all those kinds of stories and people together without the multitude of writing that is the Bible, that occupies has and continues to occupy very intelligent people's thoughts for a lifetime. Theologians, they dedicate their lives study of intellectual and spiritual pursuits just to that one book. So there's a lot there. It can be very daunting, but to get that background and cross reference for other writers that will lean on their experience with it is totally important. So there's a lot of so when you start thinking about why do people make lists of books, it really does go back to there used to legitimately be a list of books that if you wanted to be considered well read, you should have read all these. And oh, by the way, you should speak Latin, and you should have exposure to French, and a couple different languages. You need to have a grounding in mathematics and the scientific method, and so on and so forth. It was shared common knowledge, and that you could then have intelligent discussions in a common framework. And so there was this idea, here's a list of books that everyone should read. Well, that expands and gets morphed quite a bit, but the idea is still great, that these are books that we recommend that you read. These are the things that are either being talked about or being referenced by current writers. And it comes a lot, the digital age, when you guys have common background knowledge. Everybody should know what Super Mario Brothers was. Whether you play it or not, or have not, you should know about it. You should be familiar with what Pac-Man was, even if it was before your time. You'll understand a lot of references better if you understand some of those that come along. I'd throw Minecraft certainly into that. It inspires so many other game makers that are coming along today, and they may be throwaway type jokes that they're putting back, but they all feed Legend of Zelda, Rogue, lots of these various games that are all referenced, and then they bridge over into movies. Are you Horde or Alliance? That you have to have a little bit of familiarity with World of Warcraft, but there was a time when pretty much everybody everybody of a certain age in the world was joining up. What is this online gaming stuff? And that was kind of it at its height. I wondered if I should farm. Hang on, let me have a sip here. I think we've done well in our tower. you know, the whole running around and looking at it while talking has at least got me thinking that looks better than kind of just the toothy stalks looking up. It's some gaps in between. Not ideal. I don't know that it's really how I want it to end, and maybe that switches back in the same footprint to blocks eventually. Um, you know, we could put a full row of blocks on that outer edge and then cap them all with another half slab row and have that same stretched vertical impression maybe add a little bit more height to the tower, but I'm not entirely certain. Well, we'll see. We'll keep playing around. You know, everybody works on battlements in their Minecraft buildings. It feels like whether it's the Merlins and crenellations or just wider walls and things. It's definitely something people consider. So we'll keep considering. Yeah. So what from here? I'd like to at some point start picking away at our, at least exploring the possibility of getting some netherite. Yeah, that's what we do now. Let's go do that. We've done this building stuff. We're not builders. We're coming out of Dreadmore. We're warriors. Thank you for all the random dirt, you stupid Enderman. It isn't your home, it's my home. Oh, that's what we're going to do right now, though, before we do anything else. I don't care. Regular sandstone. Who knows? Who knows what we're doing? Have you figured it out yet? I'm very afraid of, like, breaking something with my shovel, though. I'm getting rid of the dirt, by the way. In case you were still wondering. We're done with all this nonsense dirt in our house. That part may be a little bit more difficult, because remember there was, like, I think that's the outer edge of the tower. And this may be... Oh, that's the... Well, that's just grass. So I think we'll drop in some paneling. Yeah, we got stone. Do stone there. See how far this goes. Oh, get it. Yep. I may have to raise that up too. Got more down with that than just doing the wood. Oh. Too bad, huh? Do we do a ring of all that? Oh man. Scope creep! Watch out! That at least we've got another layer. do here? This is all andesite, right? Gross. Did we just put that? I think we did put that there before we had any, much of any stone resources to work with. Oh! Missed on that. Well, I don't know that that's my dream, but, something. It's all creeping now. We were gonna go get netherite. Now look at us. Sandstone junkies. That's what we are. Wondering about stairs upended up in those little holes. I'm wondering what to do with all of this. Still never filled in that little bit. Now I don't have a tool chest out here because I took it upstairs. I knew at the time that was going to be a dumb idea. What do you think, Salty? You glad to not have... He's like, man, I kind of like the dirt. I'm a dog. It's kind of cool down here. Sometimes it would rain a little bit down. I could roll around in it. Well, it got rid of the dirt. If we could say nothing else for it, it's that at least the dirt is gone. Why are those two not, like, at least reversed even, right? Well, that make more... I mean, like, they're the opposite, but they're kind of the yin-yang counterpoint. And then here, you do it like that, right? And then those two are lined up. Man, it's like I was just randomly throwing torches around. So let's move that one there, and then let's do one here. And then maybe put the bed out of the way. Just a touch. I like that I have this like random little inset of floor. I did use the carpet though. What do you think? You got a little more room to play around? You can chase your tail. It looks better. I don't care how much you don't like it or do like it, it looks better than dirt. Alright, put all that stuff away. Andesite. Stone and dirt. Well, alright, that's certainly something. Now, what kind of a mess is this in? Not too bad, really. I think we're still waiting to have too many to carry around in here to switch these out and to get more shulkers, but I would like to just make an initial surge into the nether. Now these are all fully juiced, ready to go picks, right? Unbreaking, 5 unbreaking silk, 5 unbreaking mending silk. Alright, so I don't think we can use them all with our capacity, but we'll go in and see if we can get a bit of a start. One more sleep. Now, southeast is, and pretty much south is the direction we kind of want to think about while we're here, because I'd sure like to have a nether path all the way out to the woodland mansion we discovered the other day. That would be pretty good. Here's a science question, since we always talk about how we're interested in various sciencey things. Where... Maybe, I guess that would eventually... Oh! Oh boy. Get out. Alright, we got fire pants on. We really want to actually hope over here is our... Let's get that out of the way. We struggled a bit with finding big land masses, I think, or we just got pulled up and kind of focused that way. Don't know entirely which was which. Why are you running away, you dingleheads? Like, I haven't even hit you yet. So, what we'd really like is to be in this biome, but not in the midst of a giant lava sea. Instead, in a landmass. So I think maybe we start by, from our stairway here, beginning to see if we can go any distance before we run into all trouble. Alright, we got some netherrack now. Oh, I didn't quite make it. Bummer. Well, as we said, totally unrelated to all this stuff. There is an enchantment, Soul Speed, for the footwear, which will let you move over soul sand and soul soil very rapidly. Pretty good stuff when you can get it, but I don't know that at the moment that's something we're looking at. I'm not real wild about all of that open, but you know what, for the moment, I mean, well, we're not covered anyway. Why don't we just turn some of this into supplies. Alright. So you may be saying to yourself, Hambbage, I understand that you want to go get some netherite, but this seems to be a really inefficient way of doing it. And you're right, absolutely. Like most people, the highest instance, kind of like diamonds, the highest instance of netherite is underground in the nether. And we've already talked, there are a lot of techniques to how to best procure it. Very popular is to use TNT when you're down here. Just set up a bunch of rows of explosives and blast out caverns as you go. I've certainly used that. It's kind of fun, but you spend a lot of time cleaning up lava, fighting off mobs and all that in the caves that you create, and that has appeal. There's certainly fun to be had in all of those types of activities, but it also sucks up so much time. And you can go and go and go and go and go. Use stacks of TNT, and you may only come out with like a dozen pieces of netherite. It's not hugely prolific, and can be a pain in the rear to try to track down. So what we're hoping to do is kind of bore back in here by cutting around this corner, and if this forest extends or this biome of just old school nether, whatever it is, nether flats or nether heights or whatever they call this old school traditional nether style, that works out pretty well in my mind, where you can just dig underground. You'll still hit lava, and you'll have lakes and things to deal with, but if you're not just out into the ocean, you can move through pretty quickly and hopefully find a whole bunch of netherite, or at least regular amounts of netherite with regularity. But we want to, before we really start, even thinking about going deep, we want to try to get away from these just open seas of lava. There's just too much. And that's one of the disadvantages of having been so lucky in finding everything right here. We have no idea. And we went up high when we were getting all the nether quartz. We went well up above this level. but those were all kind of like fragmented shelves. You know, they were going up over here, but lots of this base layer was still lava. If we can get into an area where, you know, there's a few hundred blocks at least of solid land, that's a good starting point. So we're just going to kind of keep probing here and see. This is already looking... The further we go without just popping out again, the better off we are. That isn't entirely reassuring. Seeing that the sea has just dropped a block or two doesn't necessarily mean that we're long free of it. Well, it wasn't forever. Don't spill the lava all over. This seems far from ideal. That looks more potential. Like it has more potential. Alright. That done. So yeah, some potential to getting across there and then going left and right. Let's take a snack break. Let's get rid of you. Riveting. Nothing like looking straight down at blocks being placed in lava. I think this was our side too, right? I think we'd come from the left of our cut. We finally start going in a straight line. Alright, what have we done here? tell you, this magma stuff, not my favorite. And it's not that it, it's not that it really hurts us at all. In fact, it's much more of a durability thing than anything. It kind of wears down on our gear, as if the gear is protecting us from it. But really, it's just a dumb thing to have to go and swap out with netherrack. I think I've said it before. I don't know. I haven't done it. Is it maybe Frostwalker boots that protect you from that? I think there's something that's unexpected. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Okay. And I think it's Frostwalker, not the Soul Speed one, that will let you cruise around on that without the jolt or the potential for damage. Very chimey. Give it that. Give you this little magma cubes. You sure are persistent. Alright. And we might as well just make that look like it wasn't just a total goofball. Alright, so looking from here kind of through there, all this looks good. So if we can kind of push back into that wall, then maybe we can get a turn and see if we can start some exploratory tunnels. I was kind of hoping there'd be if there's anywhere to be lava, put it underneath the gravel. Oh, man, enough. But again, our nether has been very fortunate or kind to us, so while the magma is annoying, or the magma blocks, I'll deal with it. I reserve the right to complain every once in a while, but so this looks like one of many potential so that really didn't take much to get into. That's 380. Call it maybe another dozen. So let's call it 395 is where we really want to start. Start considering ourselves at the bend. And we are just right at the same spot. It seems like we had tunneled so much further than that. Of course. And like I said, oh, here's some deposits of blackstone just like that. Blackstone, it can be or the basalt delta biome can be pretty nice for some of this harvesting work because you're not getting this stuff. You're getting stones you can actually use for some other themed buildings. But then you have to worry about just the pocket and more pockets of lava, especially when you're on the surface trying to get where you're going. Alright. So I think here's our 395. Let's make, oh, we already got some. This is the spot. Game's telling me. See it there on the ceiling? And it can occur anywhere in the game. In the nether, placed in netherite like this. However, the frequency of it is much, much greater when you get down below the surface. You also have a much greater frequency of finding multiple pieces together. None of that here, but I think we'll just kind of raise the roof a bit. Just in a little room here. And in fact, yes, we know. You burn. What? You guys all saw that, right? Oh, wait. Before anything gets buried. 6. Put them all here. Okay, so a little workspace, really box space where we can manage up our tools a bit. Put that in there for a moment. So, everybody full there. Everybody full there. I hope that's the last of that stuff. There's a full soul sand. Rest of these can go. And did we ever get a full crossbow? Is that the first piece of crossbow we have? I don't even know. We'll hold on to it just to bring it back until we know for sure we've got one all juiced up. So, full boxes. I'm gonna hang on to the others because we may well find ourselves below ground. Now, first job is to just keep defining our boundaries a little bit here. And, hopefully they go till we get full or bored or whatever. And if this ever becomes more a reason for more traffic, I'll come back and clean, but for the moment we're just gonna ooh, we got the last biome. Can't even find a place to celebrate. So this may be the edge. Yeah, there we go. So this is the last of the biomes, the Soul Sand Valley. It's got lots of regular skellies, Endermen, I think, are pretty prolific there. So we're at 519, so a couple hundred blocks that way. And we're like 395, so we get 150 or so. That's fine. Maybe. Certainly enough to proof of concept this and hopefully get some results. So that's our one direction. And then we're just going to do the same here. That's not a barrier, that's just... Should have gone deep though. Yeah, we're not worried about little lava lakes or anything like that. Those are fine. Just trying to get areas that aren't lava sea. Even this doesn't necessarily seem prohibitive. Of course, we can't reach bottom though. Let's go here. Get rid of that. Yuck. Okay. You ain't out lava. Saw a shift. You kind of worry at times, like, oh, did it just keep flowing from another source? And while we're waiting, does any of that... Oh, oops, sorry. Just keep flowing. Come on. We got places to be. Now, all this is just feel good. I mean, there could easily be lava underneath that we'd have to deal with, but it's the endless lava, just depths of the sea that we're really hoping to avoid as much as possible. And so that's why I'm just kind of trying to get a look if, you know, if this is just a bulge that gets rounded back in on, then we don't have a whole lot of reason to continue. I mean, we probably do, because we got enough space here to at least get a start in a small area. Hey, this is a good opportunity to look at dealing with lava. We're going to do a lot of it. So, lava in the nether can either be from above head lakes, or it can just be from those single sources. Just, you know, get your block out. We did some of that just in linking the portals and stuff there. There's a lot. Be ready when you encounter stuff like that you could go for a swim. Probably not best to have your food low like I do right now, but sometimes what are you gonna do? should have looked around to see if that ghast was right on top of us or not. What are you gonna do? And then we're back into land. So far, this is looking pretty good. I mean, obviously, right on the edge, it's gonna have some challenging spots, but as I said, there's also going to be some completely submerged lava lakes in any biome that you would never see from the surface. So don't over sweat it, but this, we haven't exactly been looking at the block count, but feels like we've gone a good ways after we bridged some of those lava fields. Oh. Decide what you're going to use and try to use it. Better than that. Oh, it's going to hurt. Oh, it's stuck into the ceiling. I thought it was going to come back down. I was watching. Are you kidding? That's that high up? Alright. There, and there. Lava dealt with. Oh, there's another one over there. There we go. So, it doesn't take much engineering to rig up a few quick fixes. And again, this is just to make sure we've kind of got an idea of how far we want to go before we turn back once we get down to... It feels like we're moving incredibly fast. Alright, so this is a fair stop. So we are at 470, negative 470. Not a bad haul. So here's the philosophical pondering question of the episode. Why is it that when you drink coffee out of a Starbucks cup, and I'm, again, Mr., give me plain black coffee. I don't need all the whipped cream, milk, sugar stuff, all that. I still like their coffee. It's a little heavily roasted for my taste, but, a good Pike place is a fine brew of coffee. So I had this cup today, and it always raises the question. They got the little plasticky lid that somehow defies all laws of physics in not melting when they first hand you the cup of coffee that's like 2 zillion degrees. But okay, well they got a lot of money and a lot of resources. They've done very well for themselves, so we'll trust they know what they're doing there. But then, while it's face-melting, innard cooking hot, which again, not complaining, the whole lawsuit, you can't serve coffee at coffee temperature to people is ridiculous. Like, you're getting a cup of coffee. Deal with it. But why is it that while it's scalding hot, it is physically against the laws of everything in the universe to take a small sip of coffee? Like, you try, you try to like do the little like blow into the hole like a whistle thing, and that doesn't do anything. There's just nothing to do to prevent the fact that your first sip of scalding hot coffee is going to be like an inferno. And I think, most everyone that... Wow, that got weird sounding. Was that me or was that in the headset? I don't know. Anyway, and everybody that isn't just being taken for their first cup of cocoa at Starbucks someday has already come to terms. Really? Again? Now this one seems to have a bit more. What I'm filling in there, but it seems substantial. Really? Already? I just worked on getting an area clear that would not have to deal with all this. Look at it all down there. Like I said, you're gonna get lava lakes, whether they're in the sea or not, but you kind of like to hope they're not on your very first stairway down. Maybe that means we're gonna deal with it. The game's gonna come to terms with the fact that we know what we're doing and just relent. We still have gaps below there? Of course we do. So, I think we go with the trench and excavate technique here. Patent pending, of course. So, again, we don't have to beat down the lake. The lake will do its thing. All we really have to do is just use angles that we can to wall it off. And when we're down in the mines, usually I try to go one by two, where we're just running in a vertical as quickly as possible. Sometimes you have to expand out, and that's a pretty good, if you can separate yourself, define a corner, and then start dropping it off. The problem is when it's up above your head and everything, it gets a little challenging. But that's the nether. That's why we're here. If it was easy, we'd be in creative mode. Okay, so where are we at level-wise is 22, 21. Mileage will vary. I think there's some specifics on where netherite incidence is the highest. I'm not going to claim to know exactly what all that is, but somewhere when you're getting down 20 or below, you're going to find higher yields of netherite. I think for this one, let's go to 18. And we'll use that. So, to start, we'll see how far we can get going towards Negative 470, I think was what we were at, right? Psh, we got that far. Great. Seriously running around with like one piece of stone. It's all these odds and ends that get the most difficult. 2 pieces of soil. No! Remember, just retreat quick, get it, get it dammed off, and then you can approach back in again. Alright, so what are our options here? Let's kind of go back up and do a first appraisal. First of all, let's try to get some wiggling room in our inventory. Sound like spaceships in Star Wars or something though. Whoop, 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 whoop. Just for example, let's go kind of do one of these, and hopefully this is big now, and I'll show you what we're trying to accomplish in reverse. So you can see it, looks like we're very much in the midst of a lava lake of some kind. How far that goes, we don't know. So let's take some fire res. Now we're swimming, and like water, try to get an understanding for where your lava is and where that water ends, because as you can see, this is unfortunate that it seems to go everywhere, but you don't have a lot of visibility under lava either. You just want to keep watch on where your exit is, so that if your potion runs out, you can kind of deal with that. You're not as fast, especially if you've gotten used to moving around with Aqua Affinity or Depth Strider. This can feel real sluggish, so be aware of that. Oh no, that wasn't what I wanted. Fortunately, you don't have that same slow tool situation. Okay, so here's our little walkway getting defined. Oh, dang it. Getting defined out. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, you don't have to worry about air when you're in the lava either. Okay, let's get rid of this just so we can check. You get a lot of time. I mean, that's why you extend them. Always extend these water breathing / lava potions. You don't care how strong they are. You just want them to last a real long time. And like water, see, I'm just sinking now. So, like water, remember that you'll sink. You need to. Oh, you'll need to maneuver. And it can get real disorienting real quick. When it comes time to manage. Now, we still haven't really seen, and there's some of an edge at least. Because it feels like it's going to go on forever, right? And then you start seeing, okay, maybe not. And we can deal with a drippy lava roof if it means that we don't have to endlessly deal with lava. Alright, now, where's our floor? And again, you got some good time, but also watch your time, right? You don't want to be at the far end if you're getting low. And everything moves just a little bit slower in here. Honestly, that misplaced blocks aren't a huge deal, especially if you can hold out a bit, because they've all got to be placed. You just like water. Water. That sounded very kung fu. Be like water. Or Bruce Lee, kung fu. So, and we just hopefully have enough time to fill all this in. And this will be one area. Oh no. Well, we may have a few little patchwork. See your target before you place. Two and a half. Getting sloppy. Alright, but we're almost through it here. Oh, that was a miss, I think. Oh no. We were so close. How are we doing here? How am I still... Just like water or anything else, it's the stupid transitions that are the worst. Okay. How we doing? Just in time, too. Look at that. Alright, now. We got that. Just to check our work here. Because we didn't go deep or exhaustive, right? Alright, well, there's the next little something along the way. And again, hopefully these go down a little bit as we go back and forth. But we won't really know until we map everything out. Officially seems... Well, seems big, but it doesn't seem particularly wide. And again, you know, everything should probably be, as we're heading this way, everything should be off to our right, because we, a couple times, oh no. Remember, regroup. Once it's all dealt with, then go in and fix. So here, maybe we can detour around a little bit. And just see the biggest trick on some of these is not dealing with the lava, it's trying to get a place to anchor the blocks you want to place to. So if we think those are both gone, so hopefully that one will just flow straight down. Oh, come on! Man. Let's call that a start. I'm kind of sick of it. So maybe this direction will be better. So let's do a... Are you kidding me? Stop it. Maybe deeper is better. Boy, I tell you what, this is getting old. Sometimes, you know, you just gotta call it a potch and start over. Alright, where are we here? This is 15. Let's see if we run into the same... Yep. Of course. The biggest challenge I've fought in looking for netherite is the walkaway. Is this ain't working? Pack up. Don't, you can fight with this stuff forever. And yeah, we can make a bunch more potions if we want to. But if there's a couple lava lakes all within 30 yards around there, and they're, from the surface or a few blocks below to 20 blocks under, you can spend ages just dealing with all the stupid lava. So if you're running into that, do what I'm doing right here. Just, okay, we won't fight you on this. We're just gonna pack up, move to greener pastures. So if we wanted to walk all the way out, it would be to like there. And you may have to try a bunch of times to find a suitable area. That's the toughest part, that far more than finding the netherite is finding places where you can get good runs before you start drowning in lava. Man, we got a long way to go on this one. So it's a definite exercise in patience and knowing that eventually we'll get it. And you don't want to, you want to give a chance to clear some lava. If you can extend a run by 100 blocks by dealing with one little lava lake like that one I just did, but then when you go another 30 blocks or less than that, 5, 10, and you're right back to it. You were just working off a wall. Well, now, okay, how many times in a row do you risk doing that before you just, I've just decided, hey, it's easier to pick up, head out, and see if, going this far, we go east, is enough to avoid some of that. Because if we can avoid it, we're going to be a whole lot better off. Now, we're almost full again. Let's go dump. And this is kind of why I brought along the other ender chest. It's because we don't want to have to run back and forth a whole lot. And this was a little early to really start thinking about, okay, let's make a platform. The main thing is I don't like my shulker boxes on the netherite when I'm breaking blocks to, try to clean them up. Because as soon as you pop those, you'll break like the next dozen blocks of netherite underneath and around them, depending on which way you angle. So I like to at least have a piece of stone to work off of. Now, eventually, that may not matter, especially if we find some blackstone or basalt area to work in. It becomes a whole lot easier. So now we just go again. Hope that's not a huge lake. looking good, though. Is it? But sometimes you can deal with it, and as you get going, just that's not it. Keep plugging away. So now that that's cleared, I think that'll stay. That may be messy though. But if we can now go here, let that clear. There. Oh, fingers crossed. Ooh. I've done it. Still fingers crossed. Let's reach ahead while we still have a break. So close, though. This isn't bad. That and that. And that's how a lot of them, that's why I say don't just turn and run away from lava. Oh, no, if this all brings down more... Okay. We have here is a underground lava lake with a lava bubble. If you do see stuff like this, just do yourself a favor, fill it in, deal with it, because the whole idea is to try to make a network of, just like diamond mining or whatever. You want to expose as much diamond as you can. How does that even stick there, honestly? I think that should have been back in there. It really couldn't be anywhere but. Back and forth we go. Fingers crossed, maybe this time we'll get to push on a little bit. There's some. Another just piece? And again, very much like early diamond mining, we're kind of going to use our tools at about the same sort of ratio, I guess. Well, no, not really. It's not fair at all. But when you're going high speed, which you can't do through the blackstone, which you can do through the nether, right? When you're doing it like that, you're gonna eat up these picks quickly, as you would in in early cobble, cobble and picking up the gold and the iron and the coal and all the rest of it. So be aware, but I do. Usually I can kind of define a range early on. I'm happy if I don't have to. There we go. Now we're talking a little bit. A few more pieces. Let's get some food here. Suffocation is a possibility. You have to look out for it. When you're going at high speed like this, you can hit gravel like that and drop into lava. Be aware of that. Now, I've never heard anything that there are particular. I guess I just kind of wore that quartz down a little bit. That's weird. It held its shape. There's 4 pieces. I think we got, one back at home and another in the box, so good start. We are getting close to our stopping time. I'm not calling that an end to this play session for me or this activity at all, but I'm going to go back, empty the pockets again. You can see a nether rack becomes abundant way too fast, and will, if we have good lava opportunities like that little bubble lake, we may make use of it. This is what I was talking about, though, with, on your way back, like the early diamond mining. Now you can just kind of come back and pick up the goods. And I do recommend it, if for no other reason than this is a great way to help keep even on your pickaxe wear. And early on, it's going to be a tough decision on where we spend our netherite once we've got it refined and processed, because using it on the it's kind of like diamonds, right? Do you want the diamond armor or do you want the diamond picks that go? Netherite picks will last decently longer when you're making these runs through to get more netherite, to equip more picks, to go run on more missions, to find more diamonds, to enchant into more diamond picks. I mean, at some point you're making more work for yourself as you do all this, but hey there, you will get some friends throughout. That's alright. And we can put that away. I think Blackstone, unfortunately, we do see quite a bit of this stuff. We don't need that. And this will actually go to a minimum as well. We'll just keep the stack in there, but is what it is. Let's trade picks, and let's call that a show. And then I'm gonna keep going here, so we'll be right back into it again. From free range developers, I bet they love their free range life. But yeah, that's just about 2 hours. I think we did some good work on the tower. I was glad to get that kind of continuation from the last time. And that's what I strive for, is a little bit of balance between some some building or some, farming or something like that, some chores, and then some kind of an adventure. This is minimally adventure, but I mean, we went for a swim in the lava. It's potentially real dangerous. At least it shows off the functionality of the extended, the 8-minute version of the fire potion. Lets you get quite a bit done. It was just unfortunate, as soon as we got through all that, next thing you knew, we're in another lava lake. So it looks like a combination of getting low and trying to move in from any of the edges may give us some help, because we haven't reached any point that we really have to turn back yet. So we'll keep giving it a whirl in the next episode. But for now, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hopefully in the next we'll rack up a bunch more netherite and start getting it applied to stuff. So yeah, what are your top items for netherite? Is it your armor first, your sword to get a little more attack damage, or do you like to get those tools with the extra little bit of durability? Feel free to comment. Otherwise, we'll start gathering this up, maybe get a return back to base here in the next episode, and start seeing what my top priorities are. Till then, take care of yourselves, take care of somebody else, and as always, between your videos, give yourself a break, your mind and your body and your soul. Get outside if you can. Take a look, night or day. There's usually something cool out there to discover. So enjoy, and know you're awesome. I appreciate you guys being around. Bye.